The tyranny of being youthful, of wanting to be seen as beautiful and youthful, and the things we stop ourselves from doing because we think we're not enough, we're not whatever it is enough that we think will be listened to. And then you get to the place where, oh, I'm so beautiful, but now people won't listen to you because you're beautiful. Oh, I look youthful, but now they won't listen to you because you're young. Oh, I finally made it to my ripe old age, and listen here, girlfriend. I was watching Jane Fonda this week, in her 80s, ravishingly beautiful elder, taking on the establishment with her getting arrested every Friday for climate change, for climate awareness. She's just trying to make it clear to everybody that we are in a crisis. We've got to, all of us have to be the ones that change the world. Because, all the politicians, all of the big businesses that are supposedly running everything because there's 1% that's got all the money, their bottom line is you, honey. It's you and me. What we buy, are we going to keep partaking in Facebook, with Facebook running fake ads publicly now, supporting fake advertising that's going to spew at you now? Be aware, your feed you are targeted now by everything you do and everything that they've watched you do in terms of the algorithms. Now you will be bombarded with the targeted ads that are full of lies, and you're going to think they're real. A friend of mine called me up the other day, said, Hillary Clinton's running for president again. That's not true. Okay, that was a false ad taking away from the Democrats who are, really threatening the establishment. Because you have Elizabeth Warren in there, and she is serious stuff. She has got plans. We got Bernie with his great talks, but you have Elizabeth with great talks and great plans that never stop. And they're scared of her. So they're trying to distract you, and we're all getting distracted with, the shenanigans, and it doesn't matter. What you need to do is tap into your heart, like your truth, the issues at stake. Do you care about the planet and humans surviving? Do you care about having free health care forever? We can have that. That is not a big deal. Countries all over the world have that. You can have free health care, free college, free child care, higher wages, a 13th month paid for that they have in other countries. You can have all of this, the arts funded. And it won't take more than 2 cents out of $1 for every billionaire. That's it. Every dollar of theirs, they get 2 cents that they give back for everything they've stolen. It's not a big deal, and it can happen in our lifetimes. And in fact, to save our species, that's where it's really at. We have to be willing to speak up, speak to our friends, speak to our families, break that taboo where you can't talk politics. We've got to be willing to go do civil disobedience. Jane Fonda's getting arrested every Friday. Can you believe it? I'm so proud of this woman. And I love it that she's an elder. I love it that she's beautiful in her, her rockin' little striped outfit and her little beret. She's so gorgeous. And it's such a lie that we won't be listened to because we are young or old or fat or skinny or white or black. It doesn't matter. Your heart will be listened to, honey. And just you changing one person is a ripple. It's that pebble dropping into the ocean that seems like nothing, but well, okay, how about the pebble in the pond? That's a bigger deal. And we're each in our own little pond. We're the big fishes of our own ponds. I just saw the Harriet movie, Harriet Tubman leading all these people to freedom with her intensity, the way she listened to God. She listened to a voice beyond the rational mind through her spiritual being that was guiding her. And I was thinking about how when Elizabeth Warren was talking recently, I was watching all of these Democrats, and I was thinking, there's a lot of good people up there, really, really earnest people. And but And I was afraid to say that I'm coming out for Elizabeth Warren because I'm like, oh, she's going to get attacked. She's going to do what they did to Hillary Clinton, where they make thousands of false ads and then they act like there's no difference between Hillary and Trump. Oh my God, that was such a sickness, right? There's a difference between people who are earnest their whole lives fighting for good causes. And if you sit back going, it doesn't matter, they're all the same, you create that. Because whatever we believe is what we vortex, and we manifest what we believe, right? So I was feeling all this fear for Elizabeth Warren, going, oh no, she's a woman and they're going to do this thing to her. And then suddenly she was speaking more of her plans and she broke through to my heart. I felt it. My heart just went pow. It just broke and this heat went through my body. And I went like, she's my hero. She's been fighting for these big corporations, the banks, for years. And now she's ready to lead the nation. She's well trained, but she's got the passion like Harriet Tubman. To me, Elizabeth Warren is a Harriet Tubman in the front lines of actually taking the heat. And she's sometimes it's worse to take the heat from your own party. And you saw all the Democrats starting to attack her because they're like, oh no, she's the front runner, she's the one ahead of us all. And she was so graceful how she handled it. She just and some people criticized her because when Joe Biden was like, well, I helped you out, you should give me some thanks. She didn't share the power in that moment. She just said, I remember Obama helping me a lot. And then she stayed silent, and people said, well, that's not gracious. But you know what it was? It was a woman knowing that she does not have to share her power with people who just want it because they want it, because they want to take it, because they want to steal it, because they don't like the fact that she's so much more powerful than they thought. Okay. So let's let her be our leader. Let's let her be our leader. I'm coming out for Hillary. I was stumping for Hillary actually at the time. And I got lambasted by Bernie supporters. Let's not fracture this time in our own party, okay? Let's start getting together, because the truth is we have, now only 11 years to combat climate disaster. And if we don't change everything within these 11 years in terms of how we do our politics and how we take care of each other and how we, take care of the planet and how we share resources all over the world, we won't be here anymore in this sacred story of humanity. And the thought is like too overwhelming, so we just won't think about it. But the truth is, heaven on earth is in the palm of your hand, darling. When the Berlin Wall came down, Michael Moore's movie is so cool because he's like, they're standing at the wall and he's remembering being one of those people. Hammer, chisel, pow, pow, pow. Wall comes down. He goes, it was that simple. A bunch of people went down to the wall and started hammering and chiseling. And then the whole country came into a completely different alignment. So what you do now, the little thing, Greta Thunberg, a little 13-year-old girl sitting at every day refusing to go to school saying, I am sitting for climate change on the steps of Parliament here. She has started a worldwide movement. Your actions now, your decisions, your places that you stand up and you say, I am not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to go along with it. I want to do it different and I'm going to say it out loud. You start an ocean flowing through the veins of the people around you, darling. You do. And it's so interesting what happens when we try something new. I was just saying, I made this decision for the climate that I'm not going to be buying any more clothes. Oh, shit. Oh, I love clothes so much. And I love wearing awesome, gorgeous things and feeling like a new character every time. I'm like, what else are you going to do with your life without your vanity taking over every moment, or your insecurity thinking it's going to be solved through a new outfit? You guys, you're lucky you don't have these pathologies. But as soon as I made the decision, it's been like an addiction in my face, because when I go into stores, I gravitate towards looking at another outfit and it's like, wait, you're You're not doing that anymore. You're not going to do it with your money. You're not going to do it with your time. You're going to use the clothes you have and really use them, really wear them. What's my rule? Okay, I can share clothes, I can swap clothes, I can buy from an indigenous person who's made it by hand, I can make my own clothes, but I can't buy anymore unless it's a dire necessity. I have to go to a thrift shop. But that's dire necessity, and come on, it's bullshit right now. If I got enough, I got enough, and it's all, the rest is all vanity. So, but that's just a starting point, right? It's just a starting point of saying, whoa, if I unaddict to clothing and vanity like that, I'm taking back my life from consumerism, from capitalism. As a woman, I'm saying I have more to me. I have more I care about and think about. And it's like, if I take back my life from consumerism, what am I going to do with myself? I might just get in trouble. I might just start getting arrested with Jane Fonda too, you know? Like, go out there, and I got my the red cloak, darling, of Extinction Rebellion. But I'm going to be vain about that. I really got this red cloak a while back because of the movie Chocolat. Chocolate. She makes all those magic chocolates. I want to do that with my life, okay? I'm going to make magic chocolate for you, and it's going to, like, be a potion. I won't be able to, like, sell it because that's like another materialistic thing, but I can share the recipe with you. Then you can make it at home. So the last chocolate recipe I did was very potent. I just took Trader Joe's, like, raw cacao, mixed it with coconut oil and chili peppers and coffee and then maple syrup and some nuts and some little coconut flakes and some raisins, and rolled these little nutty ball things, and they were intense and they created change. Everybody who had them were like, oh, my life's melting. And that's what happened to me. I had that chocolate, and this, look at me now. I'm moving to Mexico. I'm leaving my life in order to have a more passionate existence where I can actually serve somebody. Because you know what? It's been incredibly frustrating here to not have anyone to serve, no one to give anything to. I don't get to, my music's not relevant, my puppet shows, there's no, none of it makes a difference because people are so fractured here. They're so numbed out and disconnected from each other. That's the saddest thing. So many people I love here, and we live in a way where we don't see each other. We can text each other. We can visit for an hour, but it's not a village where you get to hang out and give your gifts and hang with the elders and hang with the children and allow them to move you into joy, right? Real joy. So I'm going to be donating my good portion of my time to children in Mexico, bringing art programs to them. I'm hoping that this wonderful orphanage I'm going to is that I will be relevant there. I might not, you have to see if they actually need anything at all. They might be just fine. A white lady shows up with stuff to give. Oh God, help us. But there's other kids, there's other people, and I have deep friends there because that's where my daughter was born, in this little location in Mexico. And actually there's probably more than 50 people who saved my daughter's life there, because I was giving birth early at 5 months, and I was in contractions every night for 3 months, and I had to stay in bed with my legs crossed to keep her alive. And there was a different person every day who came and prayed with me or did healing work on me and saved her life over those 3 months. So many people saved her life. And so many people I can't wait to see again and thank them. And not only that, there was a plant, and I'm just going to tell you about this plant because we have been separated from the curanderas, from the healer women, from the herbal medicine so severely here that a friend of mine's business was shut down because the FDA came in and said there's no such thing as herbal medicine. Now, that's so not true. There is herbal medicine, and it really works. Like, for example, if I seem a little happy right now, happier than usual, well, I'm taking a little bit of that plant kratom, tiny bit, like minuscule amount. Every couple days, I'll have like a little teaspoon of it in chocolate, and I find that it's really potently uplifting to me. That's a medicinal plant that people are using to get off of heroin, right? It's a very, if you overdo it, just like if you overdo chocolate or coffee, you probably get really sick. But there was this plant that saved my daughter's life along with everybody else's help. It was a plant that you put into water, and when you cook it, it turns fuchsia. The water turns fuchsia, like deep, cosmic magenta fuchsia. And when it turns that color, it's not quite activated until it's cooked with gold, a gold ring, right? But it has to be new gold every time you cook it. And then when you drink it as a mother, if you're starting to give birth too early, it will relax your womb so much that you cannot have contractions, right? Well, they won't be successful. I was having contractions the whole time, but they weren't successful because the womb was too relaxed. Wow. So my husband at the time would go around and he would ask everybody in the village, who has a gold ring that will allow us to cook this medicine today and save our baby's life? Every woman in the hospital, every woman in town, everybody had donated their ring by the time that she survived at 8 months. You know, that's a story of herbal medicine, the kind of medicine that the curanderos know about. There's hundreds of plants like that we've lost touch with, that we need to relearn from the shamans and the healer witch women before we all become absolutely drug addicted and owned by these pharmaceutical companies who want us to think we cannot survive without their the side effects of these things are so much worse than the problem ever was. And getting off it, I was there with a woman trying to get off of Klonopin, and she was scratching her body. She was in tears. She was in fevers. She was crawling on the ground sobbing. Klonopin. These are these little ads you see, and then they have in the background, oh, it makes you nausea and makes you lose weight and maybe you die. That's just a side effect. So don't do it, sweetie. Start going to the healer people, the actual herbalists, the naturopaths, and start following your heart. When it breaks open, when somebody talks, don't just dismiss that. Go ahead and dismiss the mind that will doubt the heart and start walking towards your radical faith, your radical truth, and make some new decisions, okay? I went and I sewed bags because I've determined that I'm not going to use plastic. And it is so hard because everything I want to eat's in plastic, and that one is just... that's too big a one for me right now to really not use any plastic. But I am having success now, finally starting to remember my cloth bags that I've sewn when I go into the market to, use them instead of paper and plastic. Imagine, I'm making my life is really different. I gave away my car to my daughter. Well, I'm borrowing it from her tonight. and I'll be living in a place where I can walk everywhere and ride a bicycle. And then I'll be coming back to do solar on and off too, because solar is going to help make this transition seamless. It's going to be like an incredible seamless transition into the new Green Deal. Yes, the new Green Deal is heaven on earth, and it takes you fantasizing. What is the Green Deal like for you? It means you get to meet more friends as you carpool. You get to live in places where people are speaking to each other more and they're helping each other more because we have to. Oh, what fun, darling. This is a very sacred time in our universe. This is a very sacred time. And and you can do magical things too. You could say, I want to be in better shape, better health. I want to be more beautiful in my soul than I've ever been. I want to be more courageous. You can you can totally have some of these new realities start being born one step at a time. Because just this decision about the clothing for me, I'm not going to buy more clothing. It's like an avalanche in terms of the domino effect for one decision like that. We all do these little decisions, handfuls here and there, and you could say it won't make a difference overall because each person will be doing different things. That would be true, except for the fact that the reason it will make a difference is because each person doing their separate little thing starts to create a psychology, a totally new psychology of what we expect of ourselves and of each other and of our lives and of our future. And it also means that when you're taking actions for the climate that are different, when you're outside of your comfort zone, like Jane Fonda getting arrested every Friday for the climate, on the steps in D.C. with hundreds of people joining her and getting arrested with her now. You start to have faith because you feel like, oh, this feels great. This feels like freedom, release from fear. And if I can be this free, then other people can too. And I can see a future. I can see a future where all of our racial prejudices and our divisions between our Democratic, Republican parties, it all becomes irrelevant, right? And so I'm just excited. I'm excited. There's somebody hanging out there that's spooking me out a little bit. Yeah, so here we go, darling. Jane Fonda's getting arrested every day. I'm so excited about that. I love her for that. So our future, the future that we're all dreaming up together, it's one in which all the jails are now like there's reparations have been paid. Real reparations to Native Americans and African Americans. This movie Harriet is like, it's also starting an avalanche of action. And the jails, with all those people incarcerated in a money-making jail system where the people are just there because they wanted to steal their votes, that's illegal now. Just like war is illegal now. Can you get it? Get what I'm saying? You write the future. Hollywood has failed us so badly with these constant movies about apocalyptic this and that, and the world is over and there's nothing left but rubble and black, burned out trash everywhere and like spaceships with no planetary life. That's what we see. But we're writing the story, so let's write the story of a future that is a powerful, loving story of freeing each other the way that Harriet Tubman would not stop going back for every family member. She kept going back. So we're not going to turn back and we're not going to give up until we've created the new Green Deal in actuality. And to get yourself really psyched about how real this is, how it really is happening, and it's not just Eve ranting in the movie parking lot in the middle of the night. Listen to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez speaking on the Green New Deal that she just wrote up for us all to support. Okay? Much love, darling. Much love. Much joyful love. This is a passionate, powerful movement to save humanity, to save your own soul from the clutches of evil materialism and empty fragmentation of society. This is your chance to have a reason to come to each other with I love you. Hey, however many years we have, we're going to love this world back to life. We're going to be good to each other, and we're going to vote those bastards out of office, and we are not going to fall for the Facebook trashy little false advertisements. We're not going to do it. We're actually going to get our news from, well, CNN seems to be doing okay. New York Times seems to be doing okay. The Daily Kos is doing okay. And the politicians themselves, you can listen to them yourself without having somebody interpret for you. Listen to the issues that they're talking about and see if you care about healthcare for all, higher wages, jobs for everybody through, clean energy that we can be putting out. And what about jail reform? What about completely undoing this whole way of trapping, enslaving all of these people in those jails? Let's open those doors, okay? There's not hardly anybody in there that, all these people, no fair trials. What? A roach in their pocket? My friend of my mom's was in there for 20 years for that. We're not going to allow it anymore. We have changed that. Our society does not allow anybody to have their votes stolen from them simply because they're in jail. And do you know what? There are whole countries right now in Europe who actually have the politicians go and visit the jails, and the people in jail vote first. If you do that, then you don't get to have a whole group of cops going against one group of people that are not their demographic for who they think will vote for them, and then trying to incarcerate them because they vote in jail. That's a really important change we have to make to keep things. Just one change, just one. It's all like dominoes, right? One after another. Change. And it's happening really fast because we've got to save the planet, save the humans, cool the planet really fast, connecting all the dots of love for each other and equality and reparations. Wow. Oh, it feels good, doesn't it? Can you see it? Can you feel it? Go there. Go to the future. Feel it. See it. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with me, darling. In the middle of the night in this place. Okay. Wherever we are, whatever random place you happen to be. Like I'll be like, I'm not well-caffed enough, I can't do my video. I'm not awake enough, I can't do my video. I'm just too fuzzy-headed, and I have all these passionate thoughts, and I'm starting to go like, wait, let's just do imperfect videos. Let's just do ones that just come from the heart wherever you are and share it, okay? Share your heart, your faith, your belief, your hope. Keep it positive, okay? As you look at the negative and you bring it up and you face it, then direct that energy towards a solution, okay? Because we can't afford to wallow in our fear and negativity. We can't afford it. We don't have enough time for that. And anyway, it's too depressing and it's too exhausting. But as soon as you think of positive things, gratitudes for the moment, and beliefs and going time travel to the future, okay? Time travel to the future and be there for a moment and bring it back to us. What you saw in the magical, heavenly utopia, paradise of Eden that we all created with the new Green Deal. Much love, darling. Love life.